I feel like the story I told about the field trip was kind of scrambled, so I'm going to go ahead and summarize it before I get to the point of this story. So I went to a field trip, an art club slash friend club field trip to the Art Institute Museum, and we would spend some time there with my friends and, the rest of the gang at the place. We went to go see the Big Bean, we went to McDonald's, we went to the museum, and then we went to a restaurant where things started to kick off then. So I was trying to sit down, but because nobody could hear me because everybody was having a good time and enjoying themselves, I decided to be the butt face and start yelling for everybody to move. But I wasn't yelling in a rude way, I was trying to yell as a joke, and what happened was the shyest person in our group, who is equivalent to Fluttershy, had a panic attack, and the teacher had to pull her to the side and talk to her. She spent the rest of the day eating outside with the art teacher, and I spent the rest of the day quiet, couldn't bring myself to say anything because I felt like an absolute jerk, for a good enough reason. And the friendship between us two kind of fell off after that, because I didn't see her most of throughout the high school year, and toward the end of the year, she finally showed up, and I couldn't even still say anything to her then. I haven't seen her since, and probably would be good if I keep it that way. I don't know why I thought yelling would be a great idea to get anyone's attention, when I could have just, tapped her by the shoulder to scoot over, or to sit down, and they probably would have moved, but why not? I don't know what the heck I was thinking. Ever since I did that, things started to be different with me as well. I guess that's what probably kicked off, was me being so freaking shy when I was in 10th grade. My sister, I had said in the other story, was in the hospital because she got sick. And so it was constantly crossing my mind about her well-being, for obvious reasons. So not only was I worried about that, but when I got home, my mom was at the hospital keeping an eye on her. This was post-COVID, by the way. My mom was there keeping an eye on her. I went to the school field trip and ruined a friendship with her. And yeah, I guess it got to be more than I thought it would. I'm the kind of person who doesn't... Well, I lied, because I can't show stress, but in my own funny way. But I also am very delayed when it comes to stress that should stress me out. I remember after the field trip, I started twitching. I thought, I would try to get in control of it. I didn't know what it was, but I didn't want to bring it up to anyone. But I didn't realize how noticeable it was. So when I got to school, with that twitching stuff, everyone was like, "Why are you twitching?" And like, "Are you okay?" or something. I was like, "Yeah, I don't really know. I don't know." I tried to ignore it, but then a close friend of mine was like, "Well, it could be a brain tumor." It's like, yeah, because that's the thing I want to hear. Not only is my sister in the hospital because she's sick, but now I might be in the hospital because my brain is broken. Fantastic. So that was on my mind. I was like, I sure hope it's not a brain tumor. So then, the twitching kind of developed into mini panic attacks, and it freaking lasted past my sister getting out of the hospital and being declared fine. But yeah, it was a very different experience to me. I have no idea if that was panic attacks or something due to stress. It's never happened ever since then, and I have no idea what it might be. I just assumed it was a great deal of stress because of the stupid stuff that was going on. But it was weird, and it's never happened since. Never had a panic attack since. Never been so stressed that I would need to have one, or that I would have one. But it was just a lot of stuff happening at that point of the year, so it would only make sense that something would actually happen to me. But luckily for me, it was only a small period of time in my life that actually happened. Luckily, we managed to get past that when things finally got back to normal. My sister was back at school, and the friend that I accidentally ruined the relationship with never showed up again. So I guess slowly but surely things started to escape my mind.
We interrupt this program to bring you the special word of the video.
My mind, and everything was back hunky-dory like everything was. So there's that. Of course, before all that, I should mention that I didn't really quite understand anxiety or panic attacks. I didn't really understand what any of that was, because it seemed like every person I've met in high school had some form of it. And so because it was kind of odd that everyone I talked to always talked about having panic attacks or anxiety attacks, I just kind of became numb to the idea that it even existed or that it even was real. And I'm sure it is, but like, in my mindset, it's like, why is everybody having this? It's almost like everybody's just doing it for attention. And like, it wasn't even real, like, whenever they quote unquote said they had it, it was just them saying they had it. But after that, I guess I had a better understanding of what it actually is. So, at least I learned something from it.